Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're unpacking a really fascinating blueprint for building a highly profitable, beginner-friendly business right in the middle of the creator economy. We're going to explore exactly how you can use AI to productize newsletter writing for busy founders. It's basically a system that completely takes the stress out of content creation, using AI as a super-powered assistant to generate monthly recurring revenue. If you've been looking for a totally practical way to actually monetize AI skills, and no, you don't need to be a software engineer for this, you are definitely in the right place. Let's get started. Okay, let's dive into this. Every single founder, CEO, and creator knows that they have to stay connected with their audience, right? It builds deep trust, it drives sales, it establishes industry authority, all the good stuff. But here is the massive pain point. Who actually has the time to sit down and write a consistent, high-quality newsletter every single week? Running a business is completely exhausting, and staring at a blank page on a Sunday morning is literally the absolute last thing an exhausted founder wants to do. We've all been there. They desperately want the audience, but they just don't have the time to maintain that connection. So here's our roadmap for today. 1. The newsletter opportunity. 2. Building the AI workflow. 3. Essential newsletter tools. 4. Packaging and pricing services. 5. Challenges and limitations. And finally, 6. Launching your first service. Jumping right into section 1, the newsletter opportunity and how we solve that founder's dilemma. The data shows us exactly why this huge opportunity exists right now. Look at this. 70% of subscribers are completely ignoring generic brand emails. The whole era of corporate faceless marketing, it's over. Audiences crave a direct connection to an owned audience with a real, authentic human voice. And when you do that right, it provides an incredibly high return on investment because the content is actually relevant. But as we mentioned, founders are lacking the 5 or more hours a week required to do the research, the drafting, and the editing themselves. So they're actively looking to outsource this exact task to specialized curators. That's where you come in. Moving on to section 2, building the AI workflow, which is your secret to scale. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is this powerful quote from the drum. It says, AI will kill generic content marketing and usher in a new age of POV content. If you think this business model is just about generating raw, boring text from ChatGPT and spamming it out to an email list, you actually have it backwards. Your real product is the founder's unique point of view, their POV. The AI is simply your high-speed assistant, taking their unique thoughts and scaling them up so they can be shared. This brings us to a brilliant concept known as vibe marketing. In a nutshell, it's about using AI systems to scale marketing workflows while keeping a unique, authentic voice and strategic positioning completely intact. Your job as the newsletter operator is literally to curate the founder's distinct vibe. You capture their raw insights, their industry expertise, their quirks and personality, and then you let the AI do the heavy lifting of drafting the actual prose. You're managing the operation. You're not just a typist. Let's see how this breaks down into an actual repeatable process that you can do every week. Step 1 is briefing. You just take a few bullet points or even a quick voice note from the founder and feed it into the AI to build a structured outline. Step 2 is drafting. The AI writes the first pass, strictly adhering to the founder's specific brand voice. Now, step 3 is absolutely non-negotiable, the fact check. A human, meaning you, must verify stats, claims, and the overall tone to ensure its premium quality. Finally, step 4 is publish. You format and schedule the email. So the AI acts as your drafting tool, but your human editorial eye is what makes it a service worth paying for. Let's look at section 3, essential newsletter tools. Basically, your tech stack. To execute this workflow seamlessly, you obviously need the right technology. When you're choosing a platform to host these newsletters, the big debate is almost always Substack versus Beehiiv. Now, Substack is fantastic. It's incredibly simple for pure writing and building a tight-knit community. However, Beehiiv really stands out if you're trying to build a scalable business. Beehiiv offers advanced SEO features, high customization, built-in ad networks, and crucially, it takes a 0% platform fee on paid subscriptions. Beyond the actual newsletter platform, you need to automate the writing mechanics. And please, don't just use standard out-of-the-box ChatGPT for this. Instead, you want to train a custom GPT specifically on your client's style guide, their previous writings, and their vocabulary. Then you connect that custom GPT to an automation tool like Pabbly. You can set it up so that when a raw idea is submitted, the custom GPT automatically generates a draft, and Pabbly fires that draft directly into a Slack channel for approval. This ensures a perfectly consistent tone across all emails, and honestly, it saves you hours of manual copying and pasting. It's a real game changer. Now for the fun part. Section 4, packaging and pricing services, and making this a real business. So the crucial point is, how do you turn this workflow into predictable, reliable income? Well, you do it by packaging it into a productized service, escaping the whole trap of charging by the hour. Looking at standard market pricing, a creator content engine where you take one single brief and turn it into 4 posts plus a repurposing plan can easily sell for $299 to $799 with a 1-week delivery. An automation sprint for setting up those initial email flows, that ranges from $900 to $2,500. And the ultimate goal, the retainer model, for a fixed monthly volume like 4 weekly newsletters, that starts at around $1,500 a month and goes up from there. And let's revisit that incredible number we touched on earlier regarding your tech stack, 0%. By setting up your clients on modern platforms like Beehiiv, you ensure that as they grow their paid subscriber base, they keep 100% of their subscription revenue, rather than losing 10% to the platform. By advising them on this right out of the gate, you instantly prove your value. You're actively maximizing their profits, which makes your monthly retainer feel like an absolute bargain to them. This productized service model is an absolute lifesaver for beginners. You publish a fixed price up front, so there's no awkward haggling over rates. The tightly defined scope completely prevents scope creep. You know, that dreaded scenario where a client keeps asking for just one more little edit over and over. There are absolutely no messy custom proposals to draft. And best of all, the whole structure dictates that you are paid upfront by the client before you even begin the work. Section 5. Challenges and limitations. Time for a quick reality check. And this brilliantly illustrates a fundamental truth about running an AI-assisted business that you absolutely must understand. Notice how only 20% of the time is spent on AI generation. The remaining 80% is fully dedicated to human editing, formatting, and fact-checking. AI gives you superhuman speed for that ugly first draft, sure, but your true value as a service provider, the actual reason clients pay you monthly, is in your human polish, your accuracy, and your editorial eye. Building long-term trust with clients requires radical transparency about these AI limitations. You really have to put strict guardrails in place. As we all know, AI frequently hallucinates facts and statistics, making your human oversight totally critical. You also have to ensure every email adheres to compliance laws, like the CAN-SPAM Act in the US. Data privacy is another massive priority. Never, ever feed a client's confidential or proprietary information into a public GPT model. Just don't do it. Finally, you'll want to set up clear escalation rules for when a client requests something highly complex that just falls outside of your automated system. Moving to our final section, Section 6, launching your first service and getting started. Let's turn everything we've talked about into an actionable plan you can start today. Here is your exact launch blueprint to land your first paying client. Step 1, define a highly specific niche. Don't just target general businesses. Target B2B SaaS founders or fitness coaches. Step 2, set up a simple online intake form. This replaces endless Zoom meetings and acts as your weekly brief. Step 3, reach out and pitch a heavily discounted beta test to your first prospect in exchange for a glowing testimonial. Step 4, deliver exceptional work, refine your AI prompts based on the real-world results, capture that case study, and then immediately raise your prices for your next client. As we wrap up, if there is one core concept to take away from this entire explainer, it is this. AI isn't the product. Your curation, your taste, and your reliability are what founders actually pay for. They're buying their Sunday mornings back. They're buying peace of mind. They are buying the guarantee that a high-quality newsletter will go out to their audience every single week without them having to stress over a blank page. The AI just allows you to deliver that promise incredibly efficiently. Which leaves us with one final exciting question. The AI is ready to write. Are you ready to hit send? You now have the complete blueprint to step into the creator economy, leverage these AI tools in a truly practical way, and build a highly profitable recurring revenue business. Take that first step, define your niche, and start building your productized service today. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy building.